All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Melissa, I will let you take it away and get us started. For everybody who doesn't know, this is Melissa Sanderson. She is our board member, and she is filling in for our board chair, Bailey Davey, who couldn't make it to our meeting today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Bob, would you like to lead us in a flag salute?
I certainly will. Please join me in the salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. That was your best one yet.
Thank you.
All right. Well, do we have any new members? And I don't think we do. So this is super easy for me. So I'm just going to open it up to any announcements. And I first let's get it right off the bat. Let's get it started with Ray.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the Kiwanis is, I think, is one of the best kept secrets in the Eel River Valley, along with the Rotary, of course. We're going to be having, the Kiwanis is going to be having a recruitment informational meeting over at the Eel River Valley Brewery, the Eel River Brewery, on Thursday, March 24th, from 5:30 to 6:30. So after the business hours, and if you can get away from your shop, come on by, have some ribs, have some light refreshments, and possibly even a brew, and enjoy what we have to talk with you about the Kiwanis Club, who we are, what we do. Can I answer any questions you may have? And if you're interested in joining, we'd love to have a word with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Rotary, Kiwanis, you guys all do different things, right?
They're all the same purpose, though.
What's the main function that the Kiwanis do?
It's really to serve the needs of the community. Our focus is on children, but it's not limited to that. It's really the needs of the community as a whole. We have a number of fundraisers, as you probably know, the pancake breakfast. We have a quarter mania every year. We actually have many projects that we support. We bring in bicycles and rejuvenate them, rehab them, and get them back out to kids that normally wouldn't have bikes. We give away scholarships. We support the backpack food program at Lolita High School, as the Rotary does here in Fortuna. Let's see, what else do we do? Lots and lots of community activities. And then grants, people calling, the schools calling, say we need books for the library, or we need help with this particular project, and either it be financial or manpower that we can contribute. Just presence in the community.
That's great. Awesome. Does anyone else have any announcements? Emily? Renee, let's hear it.
Don't forget this. Don't forget the chamber executive.
Well, you chimed in. I wanted to get Ray first. He had to go. He has to go early.
Yeah, I know he does. He had a time-sensitive announcement. I'm happy to wait. So this Friday is the all-chamber mixer at the Benbow Historic Inn. That is from 5:30 to 7:30. You can rub elbows with other chamber members from 5 different counties, as well as state and local officials. Library Day, one of my favorite days of the year, is coming up on March 12th. That will be at the Veterans Memorial Building, back in its old location. Last year they did it at the park because of COVID protocols, but this year they're back, and they're going to have a takeout only dinner, so no indoor seating. You can take it to go. It's fried chicken or chicken fried something. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I didn't have the flyer in front of me, but the dinner's from 5 to 7. They do appreciate reservations, so they know how much food to make, but come help relieve them of extra copies of books. It's so much fun, and there's 1,000 books that you can pick from. And that is this Saturday the 12th, not this Saturday, next Saturday the 12th, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Next week, our featured program will be Redwood Coast PACE and the Humboldt Senior Resource Center. So be sure to tune in for that. The City of Fortuna will be giving away their free compost next week, the 7th through the 11th. They do not provide tarps, and you will need to tarp it if you have an open bed pickup truck. So just make sure you bring a tarp if you are loading up your truck. And then what else do I have? Oh, this Friday and Saturday, the Eureka Symphony is putting on their concert featuring John Chernoff. So that's some of the stuff that's happening around. And with that, I will turn it back to Melissa for any other member announcements.
Anybody else? Emily, you got an FBIT announcement down there? You want to talk today? Denise, anything going on at the McLean Foundation?
I can talk. I'll talk for a second. I'm out for my walk, which I do sometimes on these Zoom calls, so it might be a little windy. In terms of the Business Improvement District, I don't really have much to announce today, but our next regular meeting is next week on Thursday at 2 p.m. So that's about it for FBID. My own technical writing and consulting business has just been really busy lately with doing East Coast application work for retail cannabis licenses and manufacturing companies. So that's been really interesting, and it's just such good work to work with out-of-state clients and to learn about the different cannabis regulations in these different states. Just for a little tidbit, Florida is opening up a new round of license applications, and just to apply for a state license, it's $146,000. So it's just really a different scene over there. It's all vertically integrated. So to get a license, you have to do it all. You have to grow it, you have to process it, and you have to sell it. So it's just such a contrast from California, and it's been a really interesting, cool work. So just a little bit about myself today, not all about FBID, and it's good to see everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. That
Thanks,
is
Emily.
insane. Maybe California should have done something like that. Maybe when
No.
it's so oversaturated. Renee says no. Okay, well, anybody else? Denise, you put your screen
Yeah.
on. I thought so.
I'm about ready to eat lunch and it's not going to be pretty. So I will say something first before I start that. We do have a grant round open. We're always open for grant requests and we just review them normally as they come. But we did do a grant round this year. It's called the 2022 Watershed Grant Round. And we're really trying to emphasize environmental groups working in the Eel River Valley and Humboldt County to applying for some funding for their projects. And it's not a big chunk, but it's up to $20,000 for a total of $60,000. And the deadline is April 1st. If anybody that you know that we did some social media and we did something in the newspaper, but if people have not heard about it, they're welcome to contact me. And we can talk about it. And this can be grants that are small, 2,500 up to the 20,000. So it's not just larger grants. And so we're kind of excited to maybe see some things that organizations have wanted funding for, but it hasn't been on a priority for some of their other entities that they go for grants. So pass the word along.
Cool. Awesome. And with that, I'm going to welcome our guest speaker today, Christy Snyder.
Yes.
Welcome, Christy.
Yeah, Christy is from the Northcoast Children's Services, and she is the enrollment and recruitment coordinator, if I had that correct. Yay, okay. Awesome. Take it away, Christy.
Hello. Yeah, it was really nice to get the email about visiting with the Fortuna Chamber, or the Eel River Valley Chamber, I guess it's called. And we have really, our programs are about half of what we normally do. And our biggest issues during COVID, I'll just start out with COVID, is staffing. And then people who are pretty comfortable with going to in-service. The year we were doing everything by Zoom calls and other technical ways, it seemed like we were actually polar. So the staffing is probably the biggest issue. So if you know anybody wanting to get into school teaching for little guys, that's, we pay about $20 an hour. It's nothing compared to the schools though. And we will talk a little bit about transitional kindergarten at the end. So I have a little slideshow and it's up there?
Nope, you have to do the share screen again. I had to take it down so that we could see
Okay.
everybody on the gallery, but just do exactly what you did before.
Okay. And I am, okay, so share screen. Okay, so now we see it.
Yeah, it has your presenter's note so we can see that. So you see where the three little buttons are? Yeah, click that. And then click it again and then hide presenter view. Yeah, click the hide, you had it right, you had it right. Click that and then hide presenter view.
Oh,
There you
I-
go. Ta-da.
All right.
Oh, and then go back to your spreadsheet or your PowerPoint. Because now we're looking at the Zoom. So go down to your bottom toolbar and click on your PowerPoint. There you go. One more over. Nope. Hit your PowerPoint. There you go. There it is.
Okay.
But you got to click it so it shows up. It's not showing. There you go. Now click in there so it pulls up. Oh, is it on your other monitor?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at your other monitor. So you need to change which monitor we're viewing. So you're going to have to stop sharing and then share the one with the PowerPoint presentation on it. We'll get there, don't worry.
Well, you know, I can talk about anything. And so I tend to,
No, yeah, you're okay. You're fine. We can wait. So
okay.
just, yeah, so when you share screen, just make sure that the screen is highlighted that has your PowerPoint presentation up. There you go. Okay, and now just go to slideshow again. Yep, you're right there, right there.
And
And then from the
Okay.
beginning.
so we're
okay.
good.
Yeah, well, go up where it says resume slideshow. Is there a little pop-up button right there?
Yes.
Yep, there you go. Hit that. There we go. Now we're cooking.
Okay. And, oh, I see. Okay, so if. So I'm getting really confused, but that's okay. So everybody can hear me because I do have trouble. So Head Start, early Head Start. I think we're at the very end of my PowerPoint.
If
And-
you hit page up a lot, it'll get you back to the top on your keyboard.
Oh,
Try that and see if that'll,
no, that doesn't work.
no, okay,
It's okay.
okay.
So,
You can always try start from the beginning.
so the story of my life.
Hey, let's look at all the technical skills we're all learning over the last 2 years.
Okay. So, oh, there, so,
So just keep going backwards so that you can get to the front of your presentation. There you go. There you just keep going. Keep going. Okay, now go the opposite way.
okay, now we're good.
There we go.
If you can see it. So I'm
Yeah.
Christy. I'm so sorry. I always have people who are great at this. I'm a people person. I don't know technology hardly at all. And I have actually learned a bit during this COVID times because I've been forced to. But otherwise, I don't know a lot about technology. So we're Northcoast Children's Services. We run Head Starts, early Head Starts, and state preschools. And so the idea is to give everyone a chance to do a comprehensive program with child development and family services. So we focus on both. Most every preschool is a great preschool. What we do is we do that family part, which most preschools would love to do, but they just don't have the funding to do that. So that's what makes Head Start. Families will ask me, well, why should I come to Head Start? And it's like, well, if you want family services, that's the difference, because, you know, preschool teachers do a great job no matter what program you work for. And so that is us in a nutshell. So we have Head Start and early Head Start. This slide is about early Head Start. We take women who are pregnant, start that, and the early Head Start focuses on comprehensive services in the home, because pregnant women to about 2, we do home visits, and that's once a week for approximately 60 to 90 minutes. And it's really focused on health and development, and then those family services. They also have an opportunity. Each home visitor has 11 families. So they have an opportunity to get to know their peers, because all of the families enrolled have children from birth to 2. In the centers, it's for 3 and 4-year-olds, pre-kindergarten. And the idea into a center program is to get ready for kindergarten, to get ready to go to public school, and really focused on that developmental level for children. And there's a very few Head Start home-based programs, but we do have a few, one in Fortuna, Lindy Sproats, the teacher, 2 in Eureka, and 1 in Del Norte. But that's really for those families who can't get to a center every day. They want something for their child, but they're just not going to be able to make it, because we do not do transportation. And so again, it's getting ready for kindergarten with a play group twice a month where you get together. And I took out a lot of the pictures because I was trying to send it to Heather, and I couldn't send it. So each staff person in the home base has 10 families. And so those 10 are their group who get together so that they can make some peer relationships with both the parents and the children. And it's weekly visits. In the little guys home base, 46 is a lot. So I try to get about 65% attendance rate, because if you think about it, I think one of the hardest things with home base is that you have to be on it every week. So every week you have to be ready for someone to come in your home. And sometimes, so we're pretty lenient with the home base, because sometimes it's like, you know what, I just need a day off. And so we do allow that a bit. I like to run about 60% for home base. And in the Head Start program, same thing. And that is 3 to 5. The family services, that's what makes us different from other preschool programs, is that every family gets assessment and goal planning. It may be as simple as, you know what, I want to do a terrace garden because I'm in an apartment. And so the home visitor or center teacher's job at that point is to help them gather information. Where do I go to learn about terrace gardening? What do I do? As hard as, you know, court stuff or getting your license, it's whatever the family wants. So it's hard to put it in a nutshell, because you do an assessment and then you do goal planning based on what that family needs or wants. We also offer monthly parent meetings. What's coming up right now is the pediatric first aid throughout the county. And so any parent who wants to do pediatric first aid will be able to get their little certificate. And so that's an example of one parent meeting. As before COVID, we had a oil changing, so that people could learn how to change their own oil. That's a skill that has become lost with all the little quick lubes and people who just don't want to do that. So I love that one. There was a lot of interest in that. Our program is also run by our parent policy council. And so the parents decide where they want programs and how we spend our budget. Quite frankly, most of our budget is spent on personnel, but that little bit that's left over, the parents will decide where that money should go. So that is something that is really nice too. And you get to know one parent from every site is voted in, and it is really nice to get to know those parents and give them an experience where they can maybe take that on to their school site councils or something else in their community. So the children's services, again, we have to provide whatever we can or hook them up in the community. And health and dental exams, vision and hearing screenings, all of our supervisors are trained to do vision and hearing. And so that's done in each classroom and home-based program. Developmental screenings, again, to get those children started so that they can gather gains before they get into kindergarten and be ready to go on in the public school. Second step is a social program. We started it years and years ago, and I think now most public schools are using it. But we had attended a training like 30 years ago when it was brand new, and it is all the breathing and the facial recognition and how to get along with others, which we are always told by kindergarten that it's the socialization, it's getting along with others, which is the most important thing as you go into school. The academics come. Every child is ready to learn. It's that social emotional that is so important. We also need to meet every child where they're at. What is it that they need to have in school each day or in their home-based program? Literacy, language development goes without saying. That's a big thing everywhere. And we do toothbrushing after lunch. And good, you come in, you wash your hands. And we were doing family style meals. All the meals are free in all of our programs. It's just that with COVID, we stopped that. And I think, the child care food program is going to start, and Head Start is going to start allowing that again. So I think we'll be going back to family style meals. We have state preschools. We have one in Fortuna in the afternoon. It goes from 12:30 to 4, and that is 3.5 hours a day. So specifically, there's a state preschool at the Newburgh Road school site for families looking for that preschool activity. There's also a childcare and 2 Head Starts in Fortuna. Rio Dell has a home base and center base sites. And then we go down to Redway. So for the southern part of the county, that's where our sites are: Redway, Rio Dell, and Fortuna. We do serve a couple families in Ferndale in the home-based program. There's just a little guy sleeping at a center. How to apply? Easy peasy. You just need to do an application. And we got a new executive director, Rodney Owen, recently. And before that, we were not on the bandwagon for technology. Since Rodney has become the executive director, we actually on our website, ncsheadstart.org, we have a fill in the blanks application. So it's as easy as filling in those blanks. It comes directly to me. I send it to my 2 assistants, and then we call every single family for an interview. What do you want? What do you need? Do you need childcare? Because in Fortuna, there is one childcare program where it's subsidized. You do have to be income eligible, but it does help. Especially we try to focus on single parents because there's not any support there, or it's harder to get support if you have no family, or you know, it can be really hard. So we have a lot of single moms and dads in our Fortuna childcare program. Rio Del is a traditional preschool, and Toddy Thomas up in Campton Heights is a 7-hour program. So the Office of Head Start has really low income guidelines. It's the hardest thing for us. We are able to take 35% of the families can be at the 130%, the 130% more towards what Medi-Cal, I think, is. If you think about California compared to Iowa, this is really hard for people in California. So it is in the state, those guidelines for a family of 4 in the state, they can make $89,000 a year. And those are preschools. So there is a value to preschools. I know my son and family lives up in Portland, and I know his wife quit work when COVID started because childcare is so expensive. And they have a 4-year-old, and I know she just got in preschool, which, you know, for these, you know, any family who wants that preschool experience, it can be very difficult. So, you know, family of 4 up to $89,000 a year is pretty nice. So the preschool is available for families making a little more money. Well, a lot more money, but we have to do a community assessment every year. I am so happy we finally did a new census, because the census every 10 years, they get so old. It's like, oh my gosh, this is, you know, on year 8, you're using information from 8 years ago. It's just really frustrating. So I am very happy. And then we take it to the policy council. They either say your programs are in the right place, that's great, or they advise us to change those. Changing programs can be very difficult, but it's usually for a good reason based on where families are and what's going on. Right now, you know, that's my last slide, that we do go by community assessment information, what's duplication of services, where we needed the most, et cetera, et cetera. What's coming up for us at Northcoast Children's Services is that TK next year, as you all may know, they're going to be serving 4-year-olds in public schools, which is really great. I mean, could you imagine one-stop drop-off if you have a 8-year-old and a 4-year-old? I mean, as a parent, I think it's lovely. As Head Start, early Head Start, state preschool, it might be difficult. So we're looking to lower down, have more 2-year-old center programs, have more 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, and then work together with the public schools more. So that, I think, is the direction we're headed in the future, is serving younger kids, working with schools more, and just, again, trying to get everybody that we can get into some sort of services who would like that, So the application, again, just go to our website. That's the easiest way to do it, and we will call you. Are there any basic questions?
Oh, I have a couple.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to go before me? It's a quiet group, I think. So you were talking about some of the programs that you've had in Fortuna or have in Fortuna. Have you done things with our parks department? I thought were you guys, do you do grants or anything to help them with some of these, 0 to 4 age range classes or break periods?
No, we have not. One of the things about our grant is that we have to provide very specific models of programming. And so we used to, in the Redway community, families didn't want to drive every day. So we had a center that was adapted to that preschool. And in the last few years, or that community, it was only 2 days a week because parents didn't have to drive. And then the teacher would deliver things 1 day a week so that they didn't have to drive, because you're driving from all over down in Redway. And we got told about 5 years ago, we have to stay with the model that is being requested by the federal government, which is preschool services in a center, the 10-month or the year round. So, yeah, so we don't, but I always will give my executive director ideas, because that's something that might be exciting to do, is see how we can interact with the Parks and Rec. So after this, I will let him know that the Fortuna Chamber is interested.
Yeah, they'll love me for putting more work on their plate. But no, I had thought, because they've been doing such a great job of some of these, like after school and camps and summer breaks and winter breaks, and the President's Week last week, they had a little camp. And I think they're really hitting that age group, and then also a little bit older.
Well,
So I
wouldn't
just thought
it
that
be
might.
interesting if we did something with just a couple kids, so a couple kids could get that ability, because I do know in McKinleyville, where I'm from, it's very expensive, and I don't know very much about Fortuna, but it's very expensive, and you just can't afford it unless you have the monetary means to. Yeah. Right.
That's why it'd be great to have something that was, more affordable for people, and yeah, through a structured program. And as far as funding goes, are you guys funded primarily through the federal government or California state?
We are funded for we have 546 slots funded through the feds. So that's Head Start. And then we have 200 of the preschool slots and partnerships with Head Start funded through the state. Yes.
Okay. Anybody else with questions? Comments, thoughts, musings? No?
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christy. It's been great to chat with you, and welcome Rodney, your new executive director. Tell him.
Oh,
Fortuna
yes.
sends him.
Yes.
Yeah, sends it. It's Rodney, right? Rodney Owen. Yeah, send him
Owen.
yeah, send him a big Fortuna welcome.
I will.
Yeah.
let him know.
And we appreciate you coming in and introducing your organization to us. For those who don't know, so thank you again for being here. And for everybody else, have a great week. Melissa, thanks for filling in. And we will see you next week with the Humboldt Senior Resource Center and the Redwood Coast PACE program. So goodbye for now, and see you in a week. Bye.